And good afternoon and welcome to Locked in Stitches. One moment while I come through and find, okay, here we go. So let me just make sure that our audio is working correctly, and then okay, so that means there. And good afternoon, how are we going today? As always, I am Julie Hall. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. It is a gloomy old day here in Canberra in Australia, but I've had a lovely morning. My hubby and I went out for a couple of hours, just driving around country towns, checking things out. It was just kind of beautiful. So we have had a lovely time, and I hope you guys are having just as good a day. And I can see we've got Kathy Oderkirken and Jenny Domensky here as well. Thank you for joining us. Okay, and Jenny, I need to get back to you too. It's been a shitful couple of weeks, to be honest. But this afternoon, what we're going to look at is a little keeper for good old earbuds. So these are those ones, and look, to be honest, I got these from $20 from the reject shop, ish. And they recharge, they sit in your ear, and I got them because they seem to be a standard size. They've also got that chargy bit on them. And what I found weird is that my father just got new hearing aids, and his hearing aid container is exactly the same size. So I'm going to do him up one in brown leather for Father's Day to hold his hearing aids in. But, so what I'm going to show you today is, first of all, how I make this cover. And then I'm going to show you, just in case you've got a different size hearing bud cover, how you can design your own. And I'm going to use this scrap of mermaid style vinyl that I've got here. So let's come through. Now I'm a little bit more hands-on today, just because I've been changing around, and I can see Ray Smith's there as well with us. Good afternoon, Ray. I've been changing around some of the audio stuff, which is all well and good, right up until the fact that now my little doohickey for making sure that for being able to switch between screens needs to be reset as well. Okay, so let's come and have a look at what we've got. And what you can see here is it's the same basic style as what we did on Thursday evening. The difference is, of course, the size, and because this is a much wider, squarer item to fit in than the hand sanitizer, what I've done is I've digitized it so that it's going to sit that little bit flatter there at the back. And let's come through. I've got my design on there. All I'm going to need for this is 2 pieces of vinyl. So I've got piece 1, and then I've got piece 2, and then I've made a strap out of 1 inch of vinyl that I've folded over and stitched down each side. Now, if you're looking for the best way to fold that down and stitch it down, use the double-sided no-heat basting tape. It holds perfectly. So I just cut a 1 inch strip, place or draw a line right down the middle, place the 1/4 inch no-heat tape on either side, or halfway through that line, and then fold the vinyl over. And that just gives me the perfect ability to create that really pretty strap. Okay, So let's come through. I've got my design up on the screen, and now one of the things I love about these is just how quick they are to stitch out. So what you've got here is the basic outline, and you've got that in line that is going to show you where we're going to put the base on later on. So that's that line there. So first thing we're going to do is then lay our vinyl over the top of that outline. And this is why I love this. It's so great for our scraps. Now what you can see is it's gone all the way around. Now it's going to skip over where I'm going to corner it off, and then it's going to come through and stitch along the bottom. And that's going to give us our curve for being able to put the cable in. Okay. Next part that we are going to do is a line to show me where I'm going to place my strap. Now, I don't want my strap to be too long, but I do want it long enough to be able to hold. So, and you can decide how you want that strap to go. But all I'm going to do is come through, and I never mind having a little bit of extra strapping because I can use that then on the next project. And hold that down. Now, I'm going to be smart about this, and I'm going to hold that down. And Lisa Callum's with us as well. Good afternoon, Lisa. And so now we've got that nice strap set on there. And our next colour is going to show us where we are going to place our cam snap, and it's also going to stitch down the base. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to turn my project over, and what you can see there are those 2 points. Let me just bring them up so you can see them more clearly. These points just here, which is exactly where our fabric is going to go to form that top seam. Once you've laid your fabric over that, and look, I know there's much better things these days than painter's tape to use, but I've got painter's tape here, and I'm a huge fan of not sort of wasting things. What I do want to do is make sure that I'm putting this tape outside of the stitching area. Turn it over, and so that's our marking, showing us exactly where that cam snap is going to go. And then we need to come across, whilst we don't want to stitch the middle, we do need to stitch down along the base there. Okay, so now we can come through onto our handwork screen. Look, I like painter's tape. I do find that it's easy to curl up in the machine if I don't treat it nicely enough. But I also understand that there are some better products out there for people who are doing stuff that needs to hold down a little bit longer term. And a lot of the, I think, medical tapes and things like that people are using at the moment. Okay, so we come through and we get rid of our excess stabilizer, and then I can start trimming. Now, these little bits here are perfect for then turning into your straps and things like that. Like, quite honestly, I wouldn't save this bit, but I would save this bit. And generally speaking, I cut sort of a couple of mil, maybe 2 mil around as I go. And what I'm looking for is just a consistent cut. I don't mind how close you go. And then when I come to the edge, I'm just going to cut between those. And I don't know who's doing it. I would assume it's my son. I haven't seen my son yet today because he's now a night shift worker. But he came home with some cake mixes because he's working at Goodman Fielder. Okay, so these little bits that I've got here, again, I'm going to see, and Lisa, I know you're worried about me playing with fire. That's probably because I'm an incredibly dangerous person. But I do just love the way that singes off those little edgy bits. Okay. And, that's where I haven't cut. Diddy, did I say hello to you? How are you doing, my darling? Okay, so once we've done that, we can then come through and get rid of our scraps. And what colour are we going? Ooh, I'm thinking we are going to use purple, people. And no, I still have not ordered my actual cam snap that I've been talking about for the past couple of weeks of getting the nice big one so that it can do the magnets and everything else as well. Trust me, when I do, I will tell you all about it because I will be eager to show. Okay, so what you've got here is that marking that you made for the first side. What I then like to do is I'm going to take my buds and place them in. Now when I've placed them in, I realise I still have some stabiliser to tear away there. It's like putting on swimwear and then realising you've got that modesty patch bit on them still. That's why they don't fit properly. That's why it doesn't feel good to wear them. And then I'm going to come through and with the hole that I've made, I can then see where that comes through to on the other side. So now I've got my 2 points, and I can go a cam snap here. Somebody else who likes it. Is that a Bunnings shop? Is it Dee Dee? Or I'm trying to remember where I got mine from. It seems like a Bunnings sort of a thing. Now, I went to Bunnings today and I was quite disappointed. I wanted a, I was hoping to find like a thin cork tile or something, but they didn't have what I wanted. It is always fun to walk around and see the storage stuff. Okay, so what I've now got is, and Vivian McKellar's here as well. Thank you for joining us, Vivian. So if I take, and I've got one pair of earbuds with this sticky outy bit on them, and the other one that has where you put the USB in. So I wanted something that worked for both. But what I've now got is my earbud holder, and I can fold that in, of course, but makes it very, very easy to charge and to keep everything with it. Now, what I now want to show you is exactly how I came to digitizing those. And I'm going to move my little camera here before I do, so that I can share with. And where are we? It's on. Okay, here we go. So what I've done, and what you need to do when you are looking at something like this, is make a plan. And when I say make a plan, you need to actually come through and measure. So the measurement that I'm looking for is how wide that's going to be. And you always need to remember to give it a little bit of give. So I'm measuring from that little bit further around, and the measurement that I've got there is 9.5 centimeters. Then if I do the same thing on the down, 9.5 by 8. So let's now come through to our digitizing software, and let me, oh my goodness, it worked. Okay, I don't know why it's working, but we're just going to be very, very thankful that it is. And I always go with the smallest hoop that I can that's going to work with it. And now that I've got my screen up, and you can do this on any software, it will alter a little bit though. To start with, because I suck at math, I just start by drawing that rectangle, turn it into an outline, and I know that I want that rectangle to be 8 inches wide and 8 centimeters and 95 tall. Okay, so that gives me a starting point. Now, having said that, that's how, and that's, even as I say that, I realize that, because I'm sure one of you would have remembered for me, that actually goes the other way round. Okay, so that gives us that starting point. Now I can select to digitize an open shape, and I'm going to start that by coming through and doing the outline of the shape that I'm going to need. And in my software, I use straight stitches with my left mouse click and curve stitches with my right mouse click. And that's now my basic outline. So this is enough to then fold over and support the design itself. So then I don't need that rectangle. That was just there so that I had something to work with. So this is the basic outline, and the way that I work it through in my mind is, okay, now that I've got that basic outline, the second layer is going to be to put the fabric down, and I'm going to then do a triple stitch that's going to come just inside that shape. And then I want an outline there. Now, I like to make my colors different so that I can see what I've done. And I'm going to make this stitch 3.5 millimeters because I think that is a little bit of a sexier stitch there as well. Okay, next thing that we want to do is draw a line to show where our tag is going to go, and I'll come through and I'll do that first line in purple. And remember, choosing different colors is really just about being able to come through and have the machine stop. So I've got one line in a single run to show us where we're going to place the strap. To hold the strap down, I've done it in a triple line, but in exactly the same place. Then we are going to come and we are going to flip the design over so that we can add on our side piece. And again, that's going to be in an open shape. So once we've flipped it over, we're going to come through. Good afternoon, Linny. How you doing there? And we are going to then use these. So these are the stitches that are going to hold the entire project together. Again, I'm going to change those to 3.5 millimeters wide. And then in the same color, I'm going to do the little marking to show where I want to place my cam snap. And the marking that I do, it's basically just an X. And that is the entire digitizing of that item. Now, and I know the first thing you're probably saying is, well, why in the hell would I pay for that? That was so quick. What you are paying for is somebody else to perfect the product. What you are paying for is somebody else to come through and say, okay, so this is what you need here. This is what you need there. That's the reason we pay for designs. It is so much more about somebody else putting it together and showing you how to do it, and doing all the testing. But with ones like this, and particularly ones that are going to be different sizes, it is something that I wanted to show you, because if you want to have a go at digitizing, you know, it's a great thing to do. I love digitizing. I've been playing with some really cool things. I'll try and bring one up and show you one of the things that I've been playing with. Sorry, nothing worse than watching somebody else playing on a computer. But okay, so this is something that I've been playing with this week, and it's using the curved fill option. And I've had this artwork for multiple years, and every time, and I'd originally bought it to do some candle wicking designs with, and it's never turned into something that I love. So what I've done is I've come through and using this curve fill that really gives an open weave but a lot of detail as well. And then I've used a daisy chain stitch, and I'm loving how that basket looks. The second one that I've done in it so far is the very pretty little little blue flowers as well. So they're just something that I'm playing with at the moment, but there are so many fun things that you can do with digitizing. One of the things that I'm thinking of doing for our block of the month for next year, because, you know, I've got to think ahead, is to actually do, not only show you and give people different options. So first option is, you know, you buy the designs and we're going to do the quilt. Second option will be you can also buy the artwork and join us as I show you exactly how I go through digitizing it, and you can digitize your own version under my tutelage at the same time. So lots of different options that we've got there. Okay, now next week we are going to play with lace, and I will place up this week the lace design that I'm going to use, but the premise of the lace design is the whole Princess Kate thing and what she wore to the inauguration. Now, when I say that, let me show you what I'm meaning. So, if you look at the headpiece, oops, there we go, that was worn by Princess Kate at the inauguration, what you'll see is fundamentally it is lace. Now it looks like she's got a 3-piece headpiece on, but I love the idea, and particularly I guess from a formal point of view, of being able to, you know, create something again that matches the colors you're wearing, that matches what you know, what you actually need. And I also loved, of course, comments or anything like that. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you will go and have a go at digitizing your own In the Hoop project. And look, this one's a particularly good one, I think, because realistically, maybe I've got $2 or $3 of vinyl. The headphones, as I said, I think they were about $20 from the Reject shop, because my guys lose them too often for me to be buying AirPod whatevers. And then I've got a great little gift ready to go. Okay, so until next time, have a stitching day, guys. Bye.